Howdy! I'm CyberX with Outlandishly Crafted. And today we're gonna be talking about sun and moon and other stuff. So, I've had some requests for how do we do suns and moons and stuff as particles animated. So here we go. You can see I've got an animated particle sun way up there in the clouds. Yes, I do. It's way up there. You can see the base sun behind it, and it's just a little bit off because I started my command blocks a little late. But I also have a moon. And the moon is on the other side of the planet right now. See that moon's coming up slowly. It's just coming up slowly, and it's going to come up there, and that sun's going to go down over there. Oh, now we got two suns. That's how you can see them both in there. Okay, so all we're doing is we are running a particle, right? We've got a particle for the sun, and we've got a particle for the moon. And then I even have a particle for a black hole. Oh, there we go. You could put a black hole up in the planet. All this is doing is it's just moving from there to there to there to there. You know, it's just a big old circle. And you could do it again, and we could get more of them. We could just keep getting them, right? We just have all kinds of suns in the sky if we wanted to. So let's jump over. We'll let this go, and we'll jump over into Snowstorm. And in Snowstorm, I'll show you a few examples. So here is an example of that moon. We are now looking down and the ground because we want the moon to start at midnight if possible. And we want the sun to start at noon. So we put that sun in the sky, and then we just rotate them, and they just go. Now, there's a few things we've got going on here. We've got the moon phases atlas, and you can see half of the moon phases atlases are empty. And so half the time you're going to get an empty moon sky. The other half of the time it's going to pick one of those from the list. And you can change this math to do different things if you want. But right now we're just using the UV size to pick one of these boxes. And that's all we're doing. And then it just gives us a different moon phase as we spawn the particles. Now this particle is going for 40 seconds. That's the full loop around the planet, and we're using this math to do that. Now, the difference between the moon and the sun is just this number, so minus this would put it at midnight, and positive this would put it at noon. So if we jump over here into our sun, we got the sun doesn't have a minus, and when we start it, we have the sun straight up in the sky. And then all it's going to do is it's just going to do an arc in a big circle around us and come back around the other side. And that's pretty much it. We've got some variables for just how big we want it. You want it really big. And then how long is the generator going to be. You could do this with one and just have one emit and then turn off, or you could have the emitter stay the whole time. We're just doing one and it's just going around. Now from here, since you have the math, it's just a big circle. You could put anything in there. It could be a satellite, it could be, I don't know, whatever you can think of. And so that's all we're doing. Now my suggestion is that you watch this guide, which is how to query time day, and you have a BPAC triggering when the sun rises and when the moon rises and when these spawn based off the player. One of the questions was, Well, what about multiplayer? You know, would it work in multiplayer? And so, what I would suggest you do is you jump over to Google and you look up the queries and see if you can find a query for players. And so, if you jump over to the query list, so we have the query list here, and we do Control F, and we say, you know, co-op. Nope, no co-op. What about split screen? So down here you have query local player, and this allows you to query the main local player, so in essence the host. And so you could only play this particle on that host if you used the BPAC and then just had this in there as a verifier. I'm sure there's other ways to do that as well, but that's a simple way to do it. Now, it is still a particle, and so if you were in one place and the other player was, you know, a million blocks away or 10,000, I don't know, whatever, the particle is going around you, and it has to be, you know, within a certain distance for you to just be able to see it. So, and that's based off your render distance. So that's also something to keep in mind. How far away would be based off the render distance. And this particle that I'm showing you now in the sun, I actually made it to do this where it's showing us, it just keeps going because I wanted to see, I thought this was such a cool effect. So you could see it as it goes around, but it's the the main sun is just one of them. And then you can see here comes the moon. And right now, my render distance is at 98, so of course I can see in crazy amounts of distance up, and I can see all those particles. So if you're having a hard time seeing the particles, or seeing the moon, or seeing any of that stuff, you just need to make that circle smaller and move them closer to the player. Of course, the weather's going to kick in, so let's clear that weather out. The weather just makes the particles not as visible because you got that fog, but then they're going to come back up. Okay, and then you still see the moon going. So that's really it. That's how to do the particle for moon and sun. It's really just a big circle. It's just going to go around in a big circle around you, and if you need to use it for different uses, you'll just have to develop it out for your specific use cases. But this is the basics of how to do a sun and a moon. I'm CyberX with Outlandishly Crafted. If you have any questions, you can always check out the website. We just updated. I added a master list of all of the guides and prototypes that I've done over the last year. It's a lot. So jump over to the website. We've got a new how-to guides list. I'm betting that with how YouTube set up, you missed tons of guides that you probably want to know about. So go through and read the list and make sure that you didn't miss something that you need to know. If you have any other questions, put them in the comment. Join us over in the Blockbench Discord. There's also a Snowstorm Discord, which we do all of the particles in. If you don't know, Snowstorm is the program here that we're using to do all of this stuff. So jump over into the Snowstorm channel. If you have any other questions, thank you for watching. You know, we're always looking for more guides to do. Help, like, subscribe, do all of that stuff. We really need watch time right now, so watch those long videos, and thank you.